welcome to my channel. This video today is going to be slightly different because I'm going to be talking to you about my crochet design course. Not many people know that I have a design course, so I'm going to be giving you behind the scenes insight into what my course offers and what I teach my students. So if that sounds like something that you would be interested in, be sure to stick around to the end so that you can see the inside of my course portal. My design course is called Crochet Design Academy, and in this course I teach advanced crocheters how to design and write crochet patterns. I then teach them how to turn that one pattern into multiple streams of income that snowballs into enough income that can allow them to quit their jobs and turn it into a full-time income. I'm going to walk you through my course portal and show you what I offer and what I teach so that you can decide with confidence whether or not you want to invest in my course or not. So let's go. So if you were to opt into my design course, this is what you would see. I, of course, have a welcome video, and then I have a cheat sheet. I give a lot of important information on how the course works and everything that you can expect. So the cheat sheet just gives you everything that I say in a nutshell in an easy to remember format so you don't have to take notes. I have a lot of cheat sheets throughout the course for this very purpose so that you're not constantly having to take notes. I also have Design With Me modules where I show you on camera how I design an item, what choices I made concerning the design, and why I made the decisions that I made. I have videos on how to use stitch fiddle. I created pattern grading calculators for people who make wearables, and then I have videos that show you how to use the pattern grading calculators. So for example, when you go to the pattern grading calculator video module, you will actually see that there are 2 different videos under that. Plus, you can download the calculators here. So some things that you're seeing actually have multiple videos. If you clicked on lesson 1, I talk a little bit about the video here. I also tell you what to expect. There is a workbook page that you need to download and that you can fill it out while you watch the video. And I write the worksheets myself. So here is an example of some of the things that you see in the workbook pages. I ask you questions, and if you actually listen to my lessons, you will be able to fill these out as you listen to the lesson. And the reason that I make these workbook pages is so that you are sure to get the most important points of my lesson. I want to make sure that you're not just listening to it, that you're actually grasping what I'm saying. So with each lesson, there are workbook pages. And as you can see, these lessons are not skimpy. This lesson is almost an hour long. It's 47 minutes and 40 seconds. And of course, you can watch it on your own time. This is not something that you have to consume all at once. In fact, some of my later lessons, I did start breaking them up into smaller bites simply because I know everybody's really busy. I do have Zoom meetings in there for when I have met with my students. I have actually changed the format a little bit of my Zoom meetings because I was having such a small turnout. Some weeks I would have nobody show up. So now if you join my course, I don't have weekly Zoom meetings. I have a calendar where you can go and schedule a one-on-one Zoom meeting with me at any time in my schedule, and we can discuss whatever questions that you have about the course material. If you need me to look over your design, if you need me to proof your pattern to see if there's any errors or if there's any confusing parts or what you can improve on, that sort of thing, I would be happy to meet with you. That's the whole purpose of this one-on-one meeting. I just wasn't having a great turnout because everybody's so busy. So if you join my course and you want to meet with me, it is possible. I do have the course set up to where as you finish a lesson, it allows you to have access to the next lesson. And the reason that I do that is because each lesson is so important. I literally build on every lesson as I go. It's very intentional course material. and I don't want you skipping ahead because you will miss something very important if you do. So if you buy the course and you notice there's only one lesson, just know that as soon as you finish lesson 1, it's going to give you access to lesson 2. As soon as you finish lesson 2, it's going to give you access to lesson 3, and you will have access to everything you need when you need it. So the designer handbook is something that I personally created for you. It's 100 pages. I created this designer handbook with the intention of giving you everything that you need so you don't have to go digging for it. Size guides or charts, glossaries, cheat sheets, quick references, helpful definitions and terminology, guidelines, universal symbols, crochet stitch symbols, and so much more. So here's an example of one of the designs that I put in the designer handbook. Essentially, I'm explaining to you what a kimono is. It's really just a robe-like cardigan that was inspired by the true kimonos of Japanese culture. It's rectangular shaped garment. It's open in the front and generally wraps or ties in the front. The fit is oversized and can be a wide variety of lengths. Make the 4 rectangles as shown and sew along the dotted lines. So I give you a good starting point as to what size to make the rectangles and how to assemble it to create your kimono. And the way that I teach you to design in my course, this is going to make the process a million times easier. There are tons more just like this where I give you how to construct it, what measurements to start with, and then of course if you have the pattern grading calculators, it doesn't take much to plug in the other information that you need in order to grade it for other sizes. So for lesson 1, I teach you the common practices of successful designers. I give you insight to how a successful designer thinks and what they are doing differently that makes them successful. In lesson 2, I teach you how to find inspiration for new designs, and I teach you my secret for how I never run out of ideas for new designs. In lesson 3, I teach you my personal method for streamlining how I bring my designs to life, just to give you an idea so you can start building your own strategy. Then I give you the designer handbook so you can start designing. In lesson 4, I talk about how to write your pattern in a standardized fashion, because this is super important if you want to actually have repeat customers. A lot of people think that they can write it just however they want, but if you write it in a standardized fashion, your customers are going to want to keep coming back to you again and again, and they're going to be super satisfied with your patterns. In lesson 5, I teach you how to call for and use testers and how to communicate with them, how I personally communicate with my testers, and all of the behind the scenes things that happen whenever you are using testers. And just as a side note, on a lot of these, I give you templates so that you can just copy and paste and then, maybe adjust it to whatever you're doing. In lesson 6, I talk in depth about how to take great listing photos. That's really important if you want to stand out, especially on a platform like Etsy. So I have the lesson itself, and then I give you a video of tips and tricks where I show you behind the scenes for how I take pictures. And then I also show you how to use an app that I use when I have to model my own merchandise. I also give you a photo shoot checklist of everything that you should remember whenever you are doing a photo shoot. And then, of course, the worksheet and the assignment. In lesson 7, I teach you how to publish your pattern. These are actually step-by-step tutorials for how to upload your patterns to like Ravelry and Etsy. And I also uploaded some step-by-step instructions so you don't have to watch the video every time. So you can watch it just one time, print off these step-by-step instructions, and then as you're going to upload your patterns, you can just reference the step-by-step instructions instead of watching the video all over again. So in lesson 8, I start teaching you how to market your pattern, how I personally started hustling my patterns whenever social media was all I had. And everybody pretty much starts out at this level. So I teach you how to go about using social media to promote your patterns, but it's not the end all. I teach you a much better method later on. Lesson 9 is all about YouTube, and I teach you how I started a successful YouTube channel using 2 daylight lamps, a gooseneck phone clamp, and my phone. So that is all I ever use whenever I am doing my tutorials. And I go way more in depth about YouTube the things that the algorithm looks for, how to make your intro and outro videos to make your videos look really polished. It's loaded with a lot of helpful information. So if you want to start a YouTube channel, I cover that in great extent here. In lesson 10, I talk about how to start a blog as a designer. And if you have listened to all the lessons up until this point, it's going to make a ton of sense as to why you really should start a blog as a designer. Not only that, I talk about how to find ideas to blog about. And in the next lesson, I teach you how to start building your email subscriber list. And I teach you how to strategically do that, because people don't want to just hand over their email address. So I give you an idea of how it works, and I give you several ideas for what you could do in order to get people to sign up for your email subscription. I also give you some templates for how to communicate with your email subscribers so that once they do subscribe, you have something that automatically sends some emails off to them to thank them for joining your email subscription and giving them a reason to continue to stay subscribed to you. I also talk about why it's so important to have an email subscription list. Lesson 11 is all about building your SEO strategy for your blog, for your YouTube channel. And then lesson 13, I'm actually still currently working on that at the time of this video. I'm teaching you how to use Pinterest as a designer and why it's so important, why it's one of the very best tools that you can use as a designer, how to use it as a designer, and more. So there will definitely be more parts to lesson 13. I also have some step-by-step videos for everything behind the scenes. So you might use Ravelry as a consumer, but you may not use it as a designer yet. I know whenever I first went into Ravelry, it all looked so foreign to me. It didn't seem very user-friendly. So I take you step by step through all the different things that you can do in Ravelry Pro as a designer, and I show you each function of what they've got to offer, each tool, all of that. Then I show you how to upload your pattern to Ravelry. I show you how to reward your testers in Ravelry. I show you how to run a sale in Ravelry. And I also do this in Etsy. I show you how to upload your pattern and how to run a sale in Etsy. I also have tons of Canva tutorials because I use Canva daily as a designer. So I talk to you about the very most basic things about how to use Canva, and then I teach you extra things along the way. So anytime I learn something new in Canva, I come in here and I create a new tutorial. I also have some motivational phone wallpapers to get your mindset in the right place. As a designer, it's good to remind yourself that you are enough. So I have a whole little lesson about that. And I also give you SMART Goals planner sheets to put into your binder to help you stay focused. I created those just for you as a designer. So they are not just generic planner sheets. They are tailored to you as a designer and based on everything I've taught in this course portal up until this point. I have also started teaching on how I use AI as a designer, and it's probably going to just keep growing because there are so many things that you can do with AI. So I will continually be adding to this course as I learn new things. So I wanted to do the behind the scenes footage into my course portal because I know that my course seems really expensive to a lot of people, but I wanted to show you that there's some really great value in my course, that you can be more certain about your purchase if you choose to invest in it. This is not something that I slap together. This is not something that I put together to get rich quick. This is something that I've poured over a year of my life into almost every week, and it really means a lot to me that my students are successful in their designing endeavors. I remember when I was just starting out as a designer having a lot of frustration because I knew that I had what it took to be a designer. I just didn't understand how it was possible to make a lot of money doing it. There are some designers out there that make a decent amount of money, but they don't make enough to quit their jobs. And I wanted to be able to quit my job. My job was super stressful. I was tired of always being at the hospital, never getting to have quality time with my family, and I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to know what it was like to be free from that bondage of my day-to-day job. I didn't want to just have enough money to buy yarn. I didn't want to just have a little bit of extra spending money. I wanted it to be my main source of income. And in this course, I teach you how to do that. I teach you how to make it your main source of income so that you can live the life that you want, creating the art that you love. That's my little slogan or whatever. I want you to be able to have that freedom. And if you decide to purchase my course and you get in there and you're like, well, this is a little bit too advanced for me, I don't think I'm ready for this, just contact me. I do have a 2-week window where I will give you your money back if you get in there and you find that it's just not for you. And I understand that this course is not going to be for everyone. It's for advanced crocheters. So people who can pick up a hook, pick up some yarn, and just create. They don't need a pattern to create something new. So it's not for people who can't read a pattern. It's definitely not for beginners. So if you're not an advanced crocheter, this is not really for you yet. I'm not saying it won't ever be for you, just not yet. So anyways, I hope that this video gives you some clarity and helps you decide with confidence if my design course is the right step for you. If you have any questions whatsoever about what you saw in today's video or about my course, be sure to shoot me an email at dana@dayck.com, or of course you can just leave a comment in the comments below this video. And of course there will be a link in the description box where you can find out more about my course and sign up if you so desire. And I really hope to see you there.